All right, guys, so today we have this Model S 2024 we're gonna be working on. We are gonna go with our level 1 ceramic film. This film will block 70% IR of the heat that you feel on your skin. It's gonna be blocking 70% of that. Customer is gonna go with 15% 2 front windows, and then 2 back doors, corner windows, and back window, we're gonna go with 5%. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the windows. And first we're gonna pop this, because this car has the system where the windows, they go down. So we wanna make sure that the windows are latched. There we go. This way the car's gonna think that the doors are closed. 1, 2, they're gonna go up. From then, we're gonna start cleaning and prepping all the glass. Make sure that there's no dirt, dust, so that way the install comes out good. There we go. That's 1. This is 2. We like to clean all these edges good because a lot of dirt gets trapped in here. Even if the car is new, we make sure that this is super clean. Let me see if you can see it. Well, I'm not sure if you can see, but it's a little bit black there because of all the edges. That's clean. We're gonna go with the back window. So prepping, it's the first step we do. We wanna make sure everything is prepped correctly, and that way the install is gonna look perfect. Perfect, perfect. There we go. Good stuff. Good, good, good. So the next step we're gonna be doing, it's we are gonna be covering the door panels because we are gonna be using soap and water. So we definitely do not wanna wet the whole panel. So we're gonna cover the door panel since we're gonna be spraying water. So we're gonna make sure we cover the 4 panels, and also I'm gonna show you guys how we are gonna prep the back window to make sure that everything is properly covered. Once we have the 4 door panel covered, we like to use this tape and we go around the edge of the glass, so that way when we cut it, we are not gonna be cutting the glass. So this is very important to have. So we're gonna do all the outline, and it's also gonna help us as a guide to see where we are gonna be cutting. Okay, we're gonna go around the whole car, the whole window. So that back window is prepped. Now our next step, it's gonna be cleaning the windows. And for that, we use a scrubby pad and we use regular soap and water. Well, not regular, we use baby shampoo with water. So that way we don't have any chemicals going into the door panels and stuff. All right, so on this step, very simple. We just spray the glass and we are gonna use our scrubby pad. And then we are gonna make sure that we cover everything. So make sure we don't have any type of dirt when we install the film. Sometimes when the car is new, they bring a little bit of glue, depending if they have stickers around the glass. So we gotta make sure that we don't have those type of glue. If we have, then what we use is a scraper. I will show you guys in a bit what I'm talking about. But make sure everything is covered. Then we're gonna squeegee out, and then we're gonna double check to see if we see any glue residue that is behind the glass or any type of dirt. For example, there's a little bit of dirt here. Here it looks. Yep. You guys can see here. So you're gonna make sure that everything is 100% glue, 100% clean. We're gonna do a second pass just in case. And before we install, we're gonna do another pass. There we go. Corner windows, same process. So you see all this water dripping. That's why you wanna cover all the door panels so that way they don't get wet. Because we do use a lot of soapy water. So we double check. Looks good to me. We're gonna do a second pass just in case. And that is perfect. So we're gonna start on the back window. We are gonna be using this dryer sheet because there's different ways of shrinking the film. You could do wet shrinking, but we do dry shrinking. So we use a dryer sheet. This is gonna help the film stick to the glass And it's also gonna be easier to shrink it. So make sure we cover all the areas that the film is gonna be in, so that way we could shrink the film. There we go. PC, easy peasy, perfect. We use gloves because these things, they have chemicals, so they're gonna be bad for your hands. So make sure you use gloves if you're gonna be using dryer sheets. Good stuff. Like I said, we're gonna go with 5% level 1 ceramic film. That's the film that we have here. So once the dryer it's dried, then we go ahead and put our film. Let me start from this side because I'm right-handed. So we wanna make sure that the film is all the way outside from the outline that we just did. Once we have the film set, we're gonna go ahead and use our card to press on the film so that way it doesn't move. And you guys see that the film, it comes straight, so it's gonna create these bubbles. And these are the bubbles that we have to shrink, so that way it gets the shape of the window. When we install it, we're not gonna have these bubbles inside the glass. So that's why we shrink. Most people ask us, why do you guys shrink the film? And this is the reason. We have these bubbles, we gotta shrink it because every window has a curvature and we have to shrink it. Because if not, all these bubbles will be inside. Stuff. If you guys don't know, I'm Hispanic. All right, so we're gonna grab the heat gun. We like to use it on the highest level. Make sure that we shrink enough the film. We wait till it's nice and hot, and then we're gonna shrink it. So you guys will see right now how the film is gonna shrink. Once the film is laid on the glass, then we are gonna go ahead and pass the card, bring down everything. This step is pretty simple, but you gotta know how to read the bubbles. That way you do not crease the film. You do not wanna crease the film, because if you crease it, there's no way to fix it, and you're gonna have to replace the whole film to make sure that the customer's gonna leave with their car 100% good. So the bottom is ready. This bubble that you see here, we do not worry about. Well, this one's yes, but the ones on the bottom no, because the outline is here, so we're gonna be cutting here. So these bubbles, we do not worry about. And we're gonna make a 30-second pause because I have a phone call. So we're gonna cut a little bit of the excess film here because it's making some tension. So we wanna alleviate that. I'm not putting my blade onto the glass. I'm just gonna be cutting a little bit of the excess, so that way I don't have this tension here. There we go. Now we're gonna go on the top, shrink the top, baby. This Tesla is gonna look amazing at the end with the percentages we're doing. Easy peasy. We're gonna bring those bubbles up. There we go. The other side. So there's different ways to shrink the film. The one that I did on that side, it was pull shrinking. You grab the film from here, you pull and give it heat, or you could do it this way as well. The main goal is to shrink the film completely. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just make sure that you don't have creases, and then you are shrinking the film correctly. We are outside the outline, so we're good. Perfect. So now we're gonna go ahead and cut it. We're gonna go ahead and cut it. We're gonna get a brand new blade here. We're gonna break it. And then we are gonna go and cut on top of the piece of tape that we did earlier. I'm not putting too much pressure, just enough for me to cut the film. That way the blade doesn't touch the glass. So you can have an idea. This is how it looks like. So I was able to cut the film, and my blade never touched the glass on the bottom, so that way we do not risk on scratching the glass. So very important, especially on these Teslas, that the windows, they are very sensible. You don't want to scratch them. Beautiful. Since it's 5%, it's a little bit harder to see, but with a little bit of experience, where are you? Here you are. You know, sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's. That's done. We will remove the little tape. So this film is shrunk and it's ready for install. Good stuff. Harder, that way we don't create too much static. We're gonna roll the film, and then we're gonna go ahead and place it over here on a peeling board. Make sure we remove this. This peeling board is amazing to have in the shop. Makes everything a lot easier. So we'll place the back window here. I like to tack a corner just in case he wants to roll back, and then I buy film. We're gonna clean the excess on the back window, remove everything that we just did there, and this car is gonna be happy at the end, getting that 70% heat rejection. All right, so that's rubbed. We're gonna spray water, and then we're gonna finish up squeegeeing it. This step, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just wanna remove everything of the dryer sheet because we are gonna be installing the film and we wanna be able to see all the bubbles that we're gonna be squeegeeing out. So on these type of cars, the ones that have the back window on the trunk like this, we like to cover everything. Most of the cars they are metal, so the magnets work. Unfortunately, this car is not metal, so the magnets won't stick. So we have to find a way on covering everything, so that way all the water that we're gonna be spraying, it doesn't go onto the car. So we like to cover everything with a towel because we are gonna be spraying soap and water on the window to install film because the film goes inside and it is gonna be dripping some water. So we wanna make sure that doesn't go inside the car. So try your best to cover everything. For me, that's good enough. We have everything covered. Spray water. This water is not gonna come over here. There's not much you could do here. I mean, you don't wanna take this apart just in case you break some clips and stuff. So that one, just try your best not to wet too much. So just like the other windows, first step is to clean it. Make sure that the back window is clean good. Spray water. All right, so the window is cleaned. So we're gonna go ahead and install the back film. So we spray one side first. We're gonna put back the release liner. So the glue of the film, it's down here, so that's why it has a release liner. So we're gonna spray that, remove a little bit of the excess water. We're gonna peel the other side. There we go. And then we're gonna go ahead and install it. So this method is called, I forgot how it's called. Rolling method, something like that. So we roll the film and then we're gonna come back over here and we are gonna install the film. Reverse rolling, that's the name of this method. It's a lot cleaner because you don't have to peel the whole release liner. So in here, it's called reverse rolling because we rolled it over there, but you see over here how the clear is gonna come to the bottom, and then it's gonna expose the glue, and then we are gonna install it. Once that's done, we make sure we cover everything. That's in. We're gonna go a little bit higher. So the main goal here is to make sure that the film covers all around, so there's no light gaps. But you gotta make sure, especially if we're doing 5%, if you leave some light gaps, you're definitely gonna be able to see it from inside the car. So we're gonna remove a little bit of the excess water. Perfect. I like what I see. I like what I do. So that's good enough for me. We're gonna double check. For example, let me give you an example. This is a light gap. So that's why you wanna double check everything. We're gonna push the film that way. Double checking everything. So for me, this is good. It's up to my standards. I don't see any light gap. Once you're double checked, then we're gonna go ahead and do the final step, which is gonna be squeegee out the water. So this is the fun part. You gotta be careful because you could at this time you could also crease the film, and we do not want to do that. Perfect. So that window is done. Our last step will be cleaning the film inside. So we're gonna spray some glass cleaner. Make sure that it's ammonia free, so that way you won't mess up the film. That window, it's done. We're gonna remove all the tools from here. We're gonna close the gate, the trunk, and we're gonna double check from the outside. Make sure that there is no debris, no dirt, no nothing. That's how we do it here. Make sure it is 100% good. We're gonna remove this. I'm gonna leave it here just in case there's gonna be some water dripping. There we go. And that is one good looking back window. Beautiful. We have a bubble here. We gotta take that out. That's why it's important to double check inside and outside. We're gonna grab a paper towel. We're gonna open this. Where are you? Here you are. And he's out. This back window is good. So we do hand cutting here at the shop. Eventually we are gonna be adding the plotter, but this is how I learned 16 years ago. So we see you going strong. We are gonna put the blade in the middle because the windows, they are like 20 inches wide. So we're gonna go ahead, split the film, good. This is for one window, And this is for the second window. All right, so we're gonna go with the back windows. First thing we spray, we are gonna lay the film and we cut both windows at the same time. So in this film, the liner is facing me, so I'm gonna cut this window. And to cut the other window, I'm gonna put the liner facing the glass. So that way it's gonna be cut. This film, the liner facing me, the liner is over here, so I'm gonna put the liner facing the film. So that way I'm gonna be cutting both windows at the same time. That's good. We're gonna spray. We're gonna make sure our squeegee is clean. So we're gonna scratch the film. Perfect. And then we are gonna cut some of the excess. So it's gonna be easier to handle the film. Change the blade. We're gonna get a brand new blade. First step we're gonna cut, it's down here. Make sure you do not cut the rubber. It comes with a little bit of experience. You just use this as a guide. It's perfect. So we like to put the film inside that gasket, so we're gonna bring the film a little bit down. And then my first cut, I like to do the straight one. So I'm gonna do my first cut, and it's gonna be in this side. I messed up here, so we brought the film a little bit over here. So again, we're gonna make a hole here, then we're gonna follow the blade up. Perfect. That's gonna be our first cut. And in these frameless windows, what I like to do is I like to move the film that way, just a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys right now. Because when you cut it exact, then when you install it, it's gonna be way too big. Check the film this side just a little bit, and then I'm gonna cut my second edge, which it will be this one. And it's the same thing. I'm just gonna put my finger here. I'm gonna pinch the film, and then I'm just gonna follow the edge of the glass. There we go. Then I'm gonna wet this side, and I'm gonna shift the film back over here, half of what I shifted this way. So that way I have space here, a little bit of space here, and a little bit of space here. And now we're gonna go to the last cut, which it will be this edge on top. Beautiful. So we're gonna take this film to the peel board to finish the cuts. So we're gonna cut this excess, that, to make it look pretty. Make sure that it's not moving around. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and remove that extra. Perfect. Here, we could use this as a guide. So once we remove the excess of the film, we're gonna go ahead and place the film here, because these windows, we do have to shrink it also. So like I said, I did cut both windows. So I'm gonna spray the top, and I'm gonna take the second film. So this is for this one, and this one is for the other side. There we go. And like I said, we are gonna shrink it. So we do a pass here, we grab the film, and we try to put all the tension on the bottom of the film. So that way, all these bubbles they're gonna get shrunk. So that way it gets the shape of the window. And then when we install it, if you don't do this, when you install it, you're gonna get those fingers inside. So on this corner window, we went ahead and did the same thing. We did the strip, because remember, these type of cars, you do not wanna put your blade on it. So it takes more time, but trust me, it'll be better to spend a little bit of extra time instead of scratching that glass. You do not want to scratch any type of glass on any car. So make sure that you do this. And it's the same process. We're gonna get our blade and then just cut around it. Once we have this template, we could use this one for the other one. I didn't put too much pressure, but that's not a problem. We could get the outline. Better, how's the saying? Better safe than sorry. And then we could finish up here. There we go. So this corner window, it's ready. We're gonna use this template to cut the other one. Bring the other piece. All right, so this is the corner window from that side. We're gonna cut the other one using this as a template. So liner is facing me. I'm gonna flip the film, spray it, and I'm gonna use this one as a template. I'm gonna squeegee it, and then I'm just gonna follow the outline on this template. Good stuff. Where did I start? I started here. If you want to learn how to do tints, let me know. I got you. We've been getting a lot of people asking if we do plasmas and stuff. So this is the one for that side, and this is the one for this side of the car. That one's ready, and this one is ready. This, spray, and we're good to go. We are gonna go ahead and install the film. So we did our first step at the beginning, which it was cleaning. But since we're gonna install it now, we wanna make sure that there is no dust or anything on the window, so we're gonna squeegee it again. Make sure that there is nothing. And for the install, it's pretty simple. We're gonna spray the window because we are gonna be sliding the film. And over here, we're gonna spray here and we're gonna release the liner. And it's gonna expose the glue. We wanna make sure that we weigh everything good. We are gonna go behind the glass. We are gonna grab the film just by the corners and the side of the windows. And we're gonna bring the film over here. And on these Teslas or any frameless doors, we wanna push a little bit the window so that way the film slides right in. And then we are just gonna set the film, perfect. And then we're just gonna squeegee out the water and it's done. Good, good. Spray the film. Spray the film. Then we're gonna grab a squeegee. I like to do 2 passes. So my first pass is not that strong because I just wanna set the film so that way it doesn't move around. And then on my second pass, I'll just put more pressure to make sure I remove all the bubbles left behind. Perfect. I'm gonna use my little triangle to get in these corners and then on the bottom. And then I'll double check that the film didn't move. It didn't move, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my squeegee. And then on this pass, we're gonna go a little bit more pressure, so that way we remove all the water left behind. There we go. And with this second pass, it should be good enough. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead, use our pink triangle, and get all the corners and sides. And this window, it's installed, so pretty fast. I like to spray on the outside of the glass. To me, that looks good. So the car is ready. We went with 15% with our level 1 ceramic film on the 2 front windows. And then we went with 5% level 1 ceramic on the back windows. So the car looks amazing with the film. 99% UV rejection, 70% heat rejection on this. Lifetime warranty with us. It's a color stable, so it's not gonna turn purple, it's not gonna bubble up, it's not gonna fade. So this is one of the best films out there in the market. So enjoy it.